All right, I should be live. Welcome to GMP Live Feature, Day 17. We're not going to go into anything too new today in relation to GMP, but we are going to talk more about the product specifications that we were talking about for the last couple of days. Because I wanted to share with you guys some of the simplified record keeping that I was discussing yesterday and what that looks like. So I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to have to bear with me. I have a lot of open screens here because I wanted to share just a lot of information with you guys that I think will be super useful. So I was chatting yesterday about incoming ingredients and doing an inventory of incoming ingredients. So that is what this screen here looks like. So I have it set up in such a way that every new order I receive in, I will assign it the next chronological, the next number in line for the ingredient. So like this one is 119, this one is 120, 121. And then of course I'll put the date that the order was received. Then here I have my spec code. Now this is what I was explaining the other day. We have to identify every ingredient that comes in with a specification code. So like my propanediol, I may have ordered it 5 different times. So the spec code remains the same, but this ingredient number here changes with every lot that you have coming in. So then I get into what the common name is, what my quantity was. So I ordered 1 liter of it, what the price was, if GST was included in that, what the expiry date is if it's on the product, and what the NPN number is if it is on the product. And then if your supplier gives you a lot number or a different type of barcode number, you can enter it here. Then you enter your supplier. If you are, I know we talked about like reselling essential oils, reselling herbal oils, things like that. This is where you would put that retail information in. So who is your retail partner? What is their resale item number? And then this is for the inventory. So this is our verification. So do we accept the inventory as it was shipped to us, or do we reject it? If we rejected it, why did we reject it? And then who was your QAP that reviewed it and verified it and accepted or rejected that item? Then we get into this description. Now, these are the descriptions that I take directly off of the supplier's websites or off of supplier documentation that they have supplied to me. And it goes through what the ingredient is, what the usage rates are. Usually I always make sure I've got my INCI included here down at the bottom. Then I get into, this is what's required for your product specification sheet. And I'll show you how this all ties together in just one second. So you have your critical product criteria, major product criteria, or minor product criteria. So here I'm saying it's preservative boosting. And I actually did not move this over correctly. I just did this yesterday. I was entering a bunch of information. So my usage rate will get moved over into this column as well, so that anybody then looking at the product spec sheet knows that it can't be used higher than 10% and it has to be added to the water phase. Those are critical product criteria for formulating. And then we get into the ingredients now with the propanediol. There's not really anything to add. Let me just find one here. Oh, there we go. So this here is the liquid germol plus. So you'll see here what the description is. Again, this one is a VSP liquid surfactant. This is, again, what I can use it for. It can be used in baby products and elder skin because it's so mild. And then I get into my ingredients over here. In this one here, the Capril glucoside, it's EcoCert compliant. This is the pH that it can be used within. And then the recommended usage is up to 40%. So again, these are all, this one here, the cocamidopropyl, this is what it needs to be: yellow, clear, a light viscosity liquid and unscented, and it's 100% coconut based. Now, why these columns are important, and I have to stop this screen share and go to a different one. So why those columns are all very important is because I have it set up to transfer over automatically. So I'll show you the specification sheets here. So I have it set up to automatically transfer over to my product specification sheet. So my spec code is going to go here. My name will be like my common name in that first column there. We'll go to this name section here. The description will be the product description. We'll go here. Then we get into the product criteria. Here we've got our critical, major, and minor. So anything that is in the cells within the spreadsheet will automatically transfer over into this specification sheet. Likewise with the ingredients, likewise with the suppliers. So who are the suppliers that we are accepting? And then I will also include, you can see in this one, I've included the website address for reorder. I will also include in this piece here, the approved suppliers, a link to any Msg Us sheets or product brochures that I have saved on my computer. I will also link in this section here for the approved suppliers. And then we get into just a blank one and what that looks like. So the information will all transfer over automatically if we set it up correctly off the hop. Now, the other pieces that it will transfer over to, I know this seems like a lot. It is a lot, I'm not gonna lie, when you're setting it up originally, but once you have it set up correctly, it is just bang on easy to do. So this here is your verification checklist. That I am sharing with you. Bear with me, I have to get rid of some windows here for a moment. So this is the product verification checklist. This is where your GP is going to go through this and you're going to verify all of these things. Now it's only set up to be a checklist. It's very straightforward. It looks like a lot of information, but honestly, when you link it to your spreadsheet and the spreadsheet populates into it, it's fairly simple. So like all of this information, the lot number, what the actual name of it is, who the supplier is, that will all auto-populate. It goes into your ingredients binder, which is part of your company setup package that you should have. Then who it was ordered from, and then you get into, oh, my scrolling is so very slow. I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm not sure why it's being like this. Then, of course, you get into your checklist. So inspect external shipping container and any external packaging. Do both appear intact without damage, yes or no? And it just goes through all of the specifications that you have to verify in order for your quality assurance person to accept. So here we get into the acceptance. So if any of the quality verification steps were answered no, then this is what our process is. Again, that links back to what your SOP is and your good manufacturing practices. You should also have, and it will populate in theory. These are, sorry, too many open windows. These are lot ingredient labels. So I have it set up to print to labels, and these labels, so as part of your good manufacturing practices, we have to identify and label every incoming product. And we've talked about that in days past. And we will talk about it again, I'm sure, when we get into actually how to set up your formulation workstation area. So you need to have every single product, every single piece of equipment, every tool, everything has to have a label on it. And that label has to have your assigned number that you have assigned to it as your item number, and the lot number. So when you ordered it, what was the assigned ingredient number? So you have your ingredient number, your code number, your supplier, your received date, and the expiry date that should be on there, and the fact that it was accepted for use. So I have also added to it, this one is more for like solid items, but for my liquid items, I have also added to it the amounts. So if we go back to the spreadsheet for a moment, spreadsheet, where are you? Oh, I have, sorry, hang on a minute. Okay, so if we go back to the spreadsheet, you'll see over here, the way I have it set up with this amount. So the amount will populate into my ingredient labels. And so then as I'm going through, what you can do, and I'm just gonna try something here. I'm gonna try using the whiteboard feature here for a second, just so I can show you guys. So you'll have your label and you will have, like it will say 4.0 liters, let's say. And then it will have an empty space and an empty space and an empty space and an empty space. So on that label, it's going to print out that it's 4 liters. Now let's say you use it in a formulation. So you go ahead, you use it in the formulation, and you use, let's say, 500 mils of it just for, you know, for the purposes of the explanation. So then you will handwrite onto your label that you have got either 3.5 liters or 3,500 milliliters left. So this will be your quantity remaining. And that quantity remaining should be updated every single time you use an ingredient. And then as part of your good manufacturing practices, you will have it set up that when you are down to, say, 1/4 capacity of an ingredient, so in this case, that would be 1 liter. So when you're down to 1 liter, then it should be flagged for reorder. So when you're building your spreadsheet and you're setting it up, you can set it up in a way that your what if feature gets triggered. So your cell will auto format if your quantity level gets down to 1 liter. It'll all of a sudden highlight red or something to that effect. It will then trigger you when you're reviewing it that, oh hey, this ingredient needs to be reordered. So then I'm just I'm sure we're almost at time here. These are supposed to be short, quick, concise, but I do want you guys to really grasp what all of these items are. So this is the item lot and quantity label. So this here is similar to the first label that I showed you, except it's got the quantity added in. So, and this one is auto-populating. So if we go in and we take it off of mailing, here we go, home, I believe. Oh, I can't actually do that with, oh, maybe I can. Just bear with me a second here. I would like to figure this out for you guys. So we go into mailings and we take off the preview results. This is what it looks like when you set it up for a merge. So anything in my name column will populate here. Anything in my lot column will populate here, my supplier, et cetera, all through the list. So once you have your merges set up correctly, you go to preview your results and it's linked already to your spreadsheet because you've done that in the setup of it. Now all of a sudden you have all of your ingredients populated. So it goes through and it populates your entire list of incoming ingredients. And so then you will basically, when you get a new shipment in of raw materials, you'll go in and you'll say, oh, my last list was populated. Let me just see what the last record on this is. Say you've got, I don't even know how many records I have. Regardless, say you have 40 records and you know your last record was number 40 and you got 10 new raw ingredients in. So now you have 50 entries in there. So what you would do at that point is only print records, 41 to 50. And that would give you just the labels that you need. And so when you get an order that comes in, these are the steps you need to go through. You need to open up the package with your verification checklist, go through it all, verify it's all as it was supposed to be. You also at the same time need to be entering into your larger spreadsheet. Now, if you have your spreadsheet set up to auto-populate into all your other documents, you literally don't have to do anything except go in and print out your new records to add to your binders. So there are a total of, I believe it's 6 business binders that you should have set up. And I'm going to actually make a note for myself because we haven't actually talked about the setup of this. So we will go through that when I'm talking about the, I think that when I'm done this GMP feature, I'm going to do a required records feature similar to it to try and help you guys along to get through that process of how to set it up from a paperwork perspective and how to work with that all. So if you guys are interested in that, drop me a comment and let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in doing once this 21 days of GMP is complete. Anyhow, so you will have these 6 binders set up, and all of your new records literally will just get filed into those 6 binders wherever they go appropriately. And that is the records that if you're ever inspected, audited, called upon to produce your records, it's all right there. So you will have a copy of these records in there. Your original will either be an electronic original, or it will be an original that is scanned and then saved somewhere offsite or somewhere fireproof. So that is really all I've got for today. I am going to be back on at 1 for our Q&A, because today's Thursday, and we're going to be answering a bunch of questions about those cosmetic applications. And I just have some ideas for you guys to kind of sort through as you're figuring out how to go about your applications. I know we were talking about soaps applications and the what ifs in terms of super fatting and things like that. So we'll get to all of that at 1 o'clock in our Q&A, and love to hear from you guys about where you would like to go from here in terms of what you would like to learn and how I can better serve you guys. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we will chat with you at 1 o'clock. Bye for now.